Hello and welcome to Chasing the Finish podcast, episode 31. My name is Mike. I am your host. And as always, I am joined by Ben Blakeman and Jake Ramsey. And like I say, episode 31. And this podcast isn't the only thing that's turned 31 recently. Let's come to you first, Ben. Yesterday, your birthday, 31 years old. How's things, mate? You all good? You had a good one?
Yeah, it weren't too bad. Yeah, it gets to a point, doesn't it? Now where it's just like another one. And they just seem to be flying by as well. So, but no, I had a really nice day, and I got some nice presents and stuff. But yeah, can't complain. All good.
Anything running related?
I got an ice bath. It's like an ice recovery bath. Yeah, got that off the mother. I got some more running underwear because I've been struggling with chafing recently, so always a good help. What else running related did I get? I bought myself some more running trainers.
Oh yeah, what you gone for?
Well, I replaced my Evo SLs because I told you, didn't I? They're a bit too small, so I'm sold the one pair and bought another pair. So hopefully they'll be here in a couple of days, and get back to running again. So yeah,
happy days. You'll have to send me the link to that running underwear because it's something I struggle with. I need the shorts with the underlayer on it.
But they're out there. I mean,
they are. I went into a running shop. They're a bit of a dying breed recently. On Tuesday, I think it was, in Loughborough. And it was called the Running Fox for anyone that lives in that area. And I went in hoping that they were going to have quite a bit of running gear in my size. But as something I've said before, again, it's my fault for being this size. But that's where I think the running world sort of lets me down a little bit, is they only sort of stock things up to an XL. So I felt a little bit hard done by, and I wasn't able to get anything. So it was a bit of a wasted trip. Although the ladies in there were lovely, and we were having a good chat about all different park runs and everything else. So excuse me. So it's something that I need to get. So yeah,
you've got to find what works for you though, because there's different types. Obviously, you've got like the shorts, and then there's like a brief lining as well. I've had to cut that out. I had to cut them out of my shorts because it's just too much. Where I love the short, but they've just got that liner. I'm just like, nah, can't deal with it. I'd rather just go with the running underwear or whatever. So
with the short, like in it, obviously you've mentioned the brief one. I can't be doing with the briefs either because I cut mine out. But if they've got shorts underneath, it's a bit of a sort of weird question. But do you wear underwear or do you just go with that?
No, I wouldn't.
No.
It's too much, isn't it? Do you know what I
mean? I know what you're like.
Yeah.
2-inch shorts with no underwear.
Yeah, that was well, don't tell everyone. Jesus.
Well, you put it out there on podcast.
That was between me and you. Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah, that was Kingsbury. That was, weren't it? Freezing cold, and I got these 2 inches on, and yeah,
and the shorts. But glad to hear you're doing well. I would talk to you about this weekend, but that can probably wait till next week. Plus, we're not a football podcast, so we won't go into it. But I'm sure we'll discuss the result on next week's podcast. Jake, how's things with yourself? You all good?
Yeah, decent, mate. Very good.
How's coming along? Nice.
Slowly. I haven't really been over so far this week.
Okay.
Just had such a busy week. Monday. What did I don't even remember. Tuesday I played football. Wednesday Villa, and obviously tonight got podcast. So going over tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. So
happy days. Well, we'll stick with you because last Saturday, the 7th of Feb, we made the short trip to Oaklands ParkRun. So it was my third time at Oaklands. Ben, I think your second. We were joined by Ben Stevens and Josh Brown, which was a lovely surprise to see him turn up in the car park, and he did brilliantly as well. So well done, Josh. I'm not sure if he listens to this. So, yeah, your first time though, Jake. So I know obviously we've done the vlog and we had a really good laugh doing that, and you absolutely smoked me out the water, to be honest. Although, if I were you, Jake, I'd be hammering Ben for one mistake in the video, which I don't know if you noticed. But if I'm not mistaken, Ben, the secret mission was worth 3 points.
It was.
Jake was already on 9 points and he won 11-5. I mean, I'm not complaining because it's less of a gap, but
yeah, I took a point off because it wasn't much of a sprint. Like it was, I was expecting. I was expecting the most, and I just think you both started too early. It wasn't really a sprint to the finish, was there? It was more of a Jake just stormed ahead.
Well, yeah, it didn't help that we're talking of shorts, my shorts, because I run with my phone in my pocket. When I'm sprinting, the phone feels like it's going to fall out, and there was no way I was catching him. So, yeah. But yes, Jake, your first time. So what did you make of the course? I know obviously you spoke on the vlog, but just to sort of talk through it again. Decent, go again? Not so bothered? What's the verdict?
I don't know what it is. Them 3 laps are just... the Stratford one, obviously I've done it 2 weeks on a bounce, and obviously it was one of the ones that I won't rush back for, but if people went for it, I wouldn't not do it, if that makes sense. So if everyone wanted a nearby one, we're like, going to do Oaklands, you want to do it, I'd be like, yeah, sound. But I don't know, I think I didn't enjoy it. It's definitely a PB course. I know you won't agree, but I don't know. It was all right. If it's going in that tier list, I'm going middle of the ground, I think.
I think that's fair. We the old man has started listening again because he's been running, and he often comments about the hate that Oaklands gets. But I mean, look, we obviously the talk between us is I don't think it's PBable. You guys do. It's just those steady inclines that you get. They start you off. They reel you in by starting you off downhill. And everyone does the typical thing of starting off way too fast. And then it's uphill a little bit by the skate park. And then you do that bit where you go round out towards the Coventry Road. And then you come back round again. And to the left of you is where the finish line is. It's that bit there that gets me every single time. I just think it's a bit of a sneaky... I won't call it a hill because it's probably... It's not as steep as a hill, but it's certainly a sneaky incline. That's the bit that just gets me every time. Because other than that, it is relatively flat around. So, but yes.
I just can't take you serious when you say it, when you talk about it every time. What? You do talk as if it's like a proper hill.
No, I don't. No.
Barely an incline.
It is an incline. In fact.
Barely.
If I was to get the run up on Strava, I wonder what the elevation would be.
Nothing I've noticed. It's just I don't know what it is. I can't get my head around you. I really can't. Because I've seen you do hills. I've seen you do the Travelator, and yet
it's like a couple of weeks back as well.
Exactly. This is what I can't get with him, but this seems to be a problem.
Right, so the elevation, I've got the graph here now.
Do you understand elevation to start off with?
Well, enough to know that I'm going up a bloody hill, yeah.
Go on then.
So, what would you, in meters...
No, go on.
What?
No, go on.
Okay.
Tell us.
So, you start off by going downhill, so it's quite low. It starts off, and then you see it rises 3 times. So, look, as I say it out loud, it doesn't sound that much from when you're down to when you're up. But the lowest point that you get is 122 meters, right? And then you're going up to 130
So
three
it's
times.
So it's
It's 8 meters.
yeah. Do I need to say any more?
Well,
Now,
no, but
talk about the Leamington one, Mike, and compare that one, because that hill. You need to do Leamington, Ben.
Oh, I'd love to.
That hill is something else. It's so steep.
Leamington, just for comparison, Strava's playing up a good one today. I don't know what is going on. Just for comparison, Leamington is... That can't be right. That actually cannot be right. No, this is saying in meters, unless I'm reading it wrong, this is where you might come in handy, Ben, is 94.
It'll probably be based on how the course is training.
So you went up 94 meters?
Yeah, but Oaklands, it said 130.
No, but I suppose
it's from where you're coming from, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah. So we were coming from 60 meters and going up at the highest point, it was 94. So we were going up 34 meters as opposed to going up 8 meters at Oaklands. I failed maths at school. I failed pretty much everything. So that probably sums up why I've just got muddled up there. But yeah, the steepness of it, I understand that. But yes, the hill at Leamington is by far and away the worst. I don't even think I do call that one at Oaklands a hill. I just think it's a bit of a sneaky incline, which you could do without. I think if that wasn't there, then the whole course would be... I'd love to go there, and I could genuinely, you know...
But it's very rare that you're going to get a flat course. I mean, you go on your weekly run or whatever, you're going to get the similar inclines. You're going to get more to Oaklands.
I am not against inclines. I went through a stage where I was so against inclines, and like the park runs we did, I was sort of going on the 5K app and I was checking that it wasn't too hilly, you know, what the inclines were like. Whereas now, I even though I've just talked about, you know, how it's not PBable and all this, and it might sound negative, but I'm at a point now where I don't care. Like, if there's inclines in it, if there's hills in it, so be it, because the only way you're going to get better as a runner is if you conquer them. It's like Napton all over again. Till we were blue in the face, me and you sat on here talking about that hill at the start and everything, and then these boys rock up and everyone's sound afterwards. And even I said it wasn't as bad as I remembered. So, you know,
the hill at Napton, the one walking back to the car was worse than the hill in the run.
Yeah, it was actually.
What you just need to do, if we do it again, just go stand next to Chris and he'll talk you to death and you'll just run off. That's what I did.
I'll try that tactic next time.
Yeah, but you put yourself by someone who chats and just get away from. I like it.
I will say this: what time did you come in at, Jake? Because I know obviously you've not been running loads because you've not had the time since you got back from the honeymoon. Things being busy, but were you happy with your time? What sort of?
I was, yeah, in a sense that like I was running, like as the three of us.
Yeah,
like I was happy in a sense, like to just get the timing. But obviously now, like in my mindset, if we do it again, I want to shave like a good 5 minutes off that time I came in on.
He was chomping at the bit to get proper sprinting at times and proper go for it. So yeah, you could definitely tell. You get quite a decent time on there, I reckon.
I got 42:04 on ParkRun. I don't know what it was on Strava. Can't remember.
Yeah, no, I could tell at times when obviously we're running together as people will see on the blog, but there was times, I think it was mainly on the last lap as we were actually approaching the sort of final bend, if you like, when you're out towards the big Tesco side of Cov Road. And I could tell at times that you boys were just ahead of me. And I was struggling on Saturday. I don't know what it was. I went out on a run yesterday as well, did 5 miles, and I was absolutely struggling on that as well. Very stop-start. And it was the same on Saturday. I was really, really struggling, and that mental side sort of affected me again not long after sitting in this very chair on this very podcast only the week before, saying how great things were and how my mindset's changed. I'm very up and down at the moment, and it is frustrating. But I could tell that you guys were a little bit ahead, and Ben, it goes without saying you had lots and lots more in the tank, but I could tell that you had more in the tank, Jake. So, if we go back again, should that be the case for whatever reason, then it'll be interesting to see what sort of time you're coming in at there, because you've said that it's a course which you think is PBable, so it'd be interesting to see. Talking of PBs, my Strava come in different to parkrun time, obviously, and I actually set a course PB sort of accidentally, but even though I didn't think I ran very well, obviously having you boys to run with was
your
good.
personal course PB or overall for Oaklands?
Overall for Oaklands, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
No, because
the same.
Yeah, what?
No, I just didn't know if he'd just, completely done the parkrun record for Oaklands, or he was just being humble about it. And,
No, I don't think so.
I wonder what
no,
it is
so
actually.
my course PB was 42:15, and throughout that whole run, I just thought, obviously on this podcast the week before, I went to say that you boys were going to pace me to a parkrun, a sub 40, and I steered away and said I would be happy with a course PB, but you boys sort of drew it back and said no, let's aim for a sub 40. And I think pretty much from the first corner, I sort of knew that it wasn't going to be one of them days, but I didn't want to sort of say it out loud, and I didn't want to think it too much, because if you're thinking it, your body's then sort of almost in the mindset of, well, why should I bother then? So I didn't even think that I'd get a course PB. So to come over the line at 42:09 and set a new course PB, I am very, very happy with, because the weather wasn't up to much either. So I actually don't mind running in horrible weather. I prefer it because I get very hot when I run. So I don't mind it at all, but it can play. It can sort of have an effect on how you run, I think, anyway. So, yeah, I'll absolutely take it.
You're a very frustrating runner.
Who, me?
I can only imagine, I don't need to imagine because I heard it, of how you get into your own head. But, trying to, because I'll get into my own head, but I just try and push it aside. Mm-hmm. But then after the run, if I know if it's a bad run, then you just beat yourself up, don't you, in a sense. But you do it there and then whilst you're running, it's so infuriating. I do get it, because I keep even to myself, in a sense, that 31 just seems like miles away now, because obviously I'm slower than what I used to be because I've just left it for so long. But I'll get there. It's just getting back into some sort of consistency. But I can only imagine how Ben feels, but it is hard, because we'll tell you to come on, but you're so fuming with yourself of how you performed in the first or second lap. It's hard to get back to where, in a I don't know, a good friend of mine, I suppose.
No, absolutely, and it's something that I obviously said before that this year is all about making sure that I don't let parkrun performances sort of ruin my day, because I spent far too long last year coming home from parkrun, whether it was a local parkrun or whether I'd travelled, and I'd just be sat in the car on the way back and I'd just be fuming. I'd come back home and, Beck would chat to me about it and I'd just be fuming and I'd just be thinking about it for ages, and then I'd finally sort of let it go. And I'm just like, it doesn't need to be like that. It's so cringy. It almost makes me sick to say it, but it is so true that there are hundreds and thousands of people that don't turn up to parkrun and don't do a run. So, I am in the I don't know if you can call it a minority, but I am in that bracket of people that do get up early on a Saturday and go and do a run. You know, I don't always look at the full picture as well. Just because I've not run very well, it doesn't necessarily mean that my time is going to come through really badly. And I think, as I've stated on here before, and as we spoke about with Ross, I focus way too heavily on time because in my head, for whatever reason, I think whenever I upload a run on Strava, people are looking at the distance and what time you're doing it in, and you almost feel like a little bit of a fraud. Like you almost shouldn't be in that running circle, if one would suggest there is one. So, you know, I do get embarrassed talking about it. You know, you meet new people, you say, "Oh, I'm into my running." "Oh, okay, I'll do a bit of running." What sort of distances you do? You get into that. What sort of time you're doing it in? And you're like, "Oh God, okay." I've had so many awkward conversations, and at the end of the day, it don't matter because 9 times out of 10, the people that are asking don't run themselves, and the only way I'm going to get better is by going through the tough times. So I need to be worse to be better, if that makes sense. So yeah,
go on. Sorry, Karen.
No.
There's always going to be something that'll get you down. Like even down like Blue's wedding, he mentioned I got a new 5K time, and I was buzzing. But then people are like, "Oh, how quick?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's like 30 minutes, well, 33 minutes." But there's people there doing marathons, so there's always going to be one where they're like, but regardless, people are still like, "Oh, that's class. That's good." If you've not been running for so long and whatnot, and it's still a good feeling when you get the recognition and just people giving you like the support and that. So I do get it, but I think I've got to the stage now. I don't know if it'll ever, like, obviously I want to try and get under 30, like that's a goal. But like park runs, I enjoy running with people because it's a bit more like a bit of socialising as such. So I do enjoy it. Obviously, there's going to be times where I'm just going to go, right, I'm going to try and get a PB here or try and get my time down. But at this moment in time, I just enjoy running with people. So
I think as well, not to give people too much of a peek beyond the curtain, but we're sort of trying to find that sweet spot at the moment, that middle ground of getting content out that people like and that we enjoy doing. Because at the end of the day, if we've finished recording and we think that was horrible, why have we done that? Yes, it might get good views, but we need to think about ourselves because at the end of the day, yes, we want to document our running journeys, but we also want to make sure that we feel like it's benefiting us. Like at the moment, for example, you know, it's finding that middle ground of running together, but then at the same time, let's use Ben as an example. If anyone was to ever study someone's parkrun times, you'd be looking at Ben's and you've done terrifically. You got sub 18 at Beacon and really consistent times, really fast 5K times, and then you look further down and it's like 40 odd minutes when you've been running with me and when you've been running with other people. So I think it's about finding that middle ground of making sure that we can put decent enough content out while still also keeping on top of our own individual running journeys, because you've just said there, Jay, your goal really this year, even though you might feel like you're a million miles away at the moment, but your goal this year is to get a sub 30 5K time, I imagine. And my goal again is to hit sub 40 more frequently and it not be a big deal when I do so, because at the moment it still is, it's still a bit of a celebration, but I want to get to that point where sub 40 is normal for me, and I want to feel more comfortable in 10Ks. I've got a goal time for 10Ks to hit this year. So I've got mine, and Ben, I've no doubt you've got your goals as well. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting year. I think it's fair to say. So yeah, what are you feeling about that, Ben?
No, I agree.
You do sacrifice a lot for.
Yeah, but you're the only person I'd do it for. Do you know what I mean? If anyone else, but I did say that to you the other week, didn't I? I said, when I was running at my best, I was getting my midweek runs done, slower pace, whatever, more structured, but then using parkrun as like my speed sessions, my speed training, and that's where I was like really hitting it, because it was just that nice balance between nice blend. So I did say to you, like, I am sacrificing at the minute. I would like to get back to it, but no, I completely agree with everything you say. And at the end of the day, I've had the most fun I've ever had at parkrun running with you. So I can't complain too much about it. And we've been making some good videos and I've been enjoying it. And obviously now Jake's back properly, and it's just it's I'm not like sitting here Debbie Downer trying to be like poor me, but of course, as Jake said, we've got our aims and goals. And I mean, me personally, I'd like to get back to sub 18 again. That's where I feel like I was at my best. So I feel like well, the good thing is obviously if people have seen you've purchased the camera, haven't you, as well? So we might be able to get both sides of it, which will be good. And hopefully Jake eventually gets one as well, and that's when I think we'll really take off with it. But for now, I have no issue running with you, Mike. That's fine with me.
I'd like to see you have a full hit at that Isabel Trail, Ben, because I feel like that's a big PB course.
Potentially.
I'd like to have another crack at that when I'm a bit more fitter as well, to be fair.
Yeah. But that's it. I mean, we're still quite early on in the year, aren't we? There's a lot of time, and as long as we've got that consistency going and we really knuckle down, I don't think there's any reason we can't all hit our targets and hit our goals. You know what I mean? It's all there for us to do. It's just down to us to take control and show a bit of grit and get on with it. But
yeah, it's just keeping up momentum of it, isn't it? Really.
But then again, on the other side of things, we've all, at the end of the day, we're just human. We're at that point in our lives where we are, some of us got families, starting families, whatever, and and houses and whatnot, and it's managing that, isn't it? And learning to manage and juggle life, and I mean, it's everyone's different, aren't they? We've all got our own things going on. So, but yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, cheers.
No, well, that got quite deep, but look, that's what we're here for.
We'll try and cheer it up a bit. Bring the
well, we'll swing it back round to. Sorry I know you've said, can we cheer it up a bit? I am going to do some plugging now, and this is to do with mental health charities. So it's sort of keeping along the lines of what we've just been talking about, because it's good to talk about how we're feeling and whatnot, and that's what ties into mental health. So apologise profusely to people that hear this no end from me. But for those that might have stumbled across our videos, get me words out, because we have recently hit 100 subscribers. So if you are one of those new subscribers, thank you very, very much for making the choice to hit subscribe. Hopefully there are very many more to come. Cannot get my words out tonight. I can't even blame it on what I'm drinking, because these boys know and they'll laugh at me. I've turned to the dark side. I've gone with Erdingers and I've gone with the alcohol free. I was that sold on the stands at the running show that is my go-to top tipple when I fancy a beverage in the week, or if I've got a run on the Sunday and I fancy having a few on the Saturday watching the football. That's my go-to now. So can't even blame them, because it's alcohol free. But yes, if you are one of the new subscribers and you've come across this channel, you might not know this, but on Saturday the 9th of May, we are hopefully playing in a charity football match at Vicarage Road, which is the stadium of Watford, which is my beloved football club. And we played there last year. Myself and Ben played there last year, but represented my other podcast that I sometimes appear on, which is a Watford one. But this year we've decided that Chasing the Finish are going to enter a team. So it's going to be us three, and we're going to be accompanied by Tom Hodgson, Chris Pritchard, Ben Stevens, Cam Smart, and Ben Ayton. Now, all of them, other than Ben Ayton, have appeared on the podcast, whether it be on a Finish Line Thoughts video, or whether it be a guest, or Chris was Quizmaster, for example, on the Christmas special. So somewhat they've all run with us as well. So we've tried to keep it as in-house as possible, because we know some good footballers. We could have just sort of rang them up and taking our places on the bench. But we thought, no, let's stick it in-house. So in order to do that, we need to raise £1,250. And the money that we raise is split evenly between 4 mental health charities. Now, we have to raise a certain amount by the end of each month. So at the end of January, it was £300. Thankfully, we got there. By the end of February, it needs to be £600. We're not quite there yet. I'm going to share my screen in a little bit so you can see where we're at. At the end of March, it needs to be £900. You can probably see where this is going. Even me, who failed maths, gets the rhythm here. And then by the end of April, it needs to be the full amount of £1,250. Now, a lot of people that fundraise obviously do an event. You're probably thinking, oh well, you're a running podcast. You could do a half marathon, a 10K. You could do whatever. We have decided that on Saturday, the 21st of March this year. Little over a month away. I cannot believe how close it is now. We are doing a 24-hour treadmill run, and that is taking place at the Radisson Blu Hotel in the centre of Birmingham. So the guys over at Radisson Blu have been incredibly generous with what they're offering us. Like facilities-wise, they've been incredibly helpful and very generous as well, and they've been really good to work with so far. So massive thanks to those guys. And it's going to be streamed the whole 24 hours. It's going to be streamed on YouTube on this channel. And it starts at 2 p.m. and then obviously finishes at 2 p.m. on Sunday, the 22nd of March as well. So, that's how we're going to be raising the bulk of the money. So if you are watching on YouTube, you will be able to see we are at £479 that we've raised, so 38% of the target. Again, it says 17 days. I do not know what that is counting down to. Probably counting down to me breaking down, thinking about this charity run that we're going to do. But yes, so if your name is on this list here, we've had some very generous donations. A massive, massive thank you. Nice little poster there with the 3 of us. Which is promoting the run itself. And also as well, I'll just scroll back up here. I say very generously, it's only working out to £1 at the moment, but I have said, if you need to be watching on Spotify or YouTube for this bit, by the way, because I'm sharing my screen. I've said here, to help boost the pot a little bit, I've decided I'm going to put in £1 for every goal Watford concede or score in the month of Feb. Well, we're 2 games in and we've lost one game 1-0 and we drew the other 0-0. So at the moment it's only £1. But as you can see there, a bit of a in-podcast rivalry. My team, Watford, is taking on Ben's team, Preston, on Saturday. So that will make for hopefully good... a bit of banter between us and maybe adds a couple more quid to the pot as well. So obviously we know a lot of donations will come through whilst we're doing the run, and that is brilliant. If you're holding back for that, thank you very much. But any donations you can spare really, really will be hugely appreciated, and we'll be very grateful for that. So that's the plugging over. So if any of our regular listeners, you can you skip through that bit. So, very good. I have tasked myself recently. It used to be Ben that did this, but then I sort of took it upon myself to do it. I've only got a couple of bits of running news this week. It's been relatively quiet, and I like to try and keep it as sort of local as possible, or I like to keep it where the things that I talk about are well known. So I know, like the other week, I was talking about a park run that was doing a Super Bowl theme, as if one of our listeners was going to be rocking up wherever it was. So, but the first bit of news is parkrun, like Junior Parkrun, put out a bit of an initiative to work with primary schools a few months ago. I mentioned it on this podcast. Well, they have announced that over 2,000 schools are now part of the Parkrun Primary Initiative. Which is brilliant. So they've said a huge thanks to the London Marathon Foundation for helping them get young people moving. So very, very well done there. And Ben, you might want to cover your ears for this because I'm going to talk about Run Through.
Oh.
Run Through have made an announcement yesterday. So they have done a couple of events in America, and I think it was for the first time last year. Don't quote me on that. I'm almost certain that it was 2025. That was the first year they reached out to America. They announced yesterday, you know how they've got social media channels for all the locations. So they've got Run Through UK, Run Through Midlands, Run Through North, etc., etc. There's a new one, and it's Run Through Global. So it says, as we continue to expand our mission of inspiring active nations through running, the creation of Run Through Global marks a big step towards the goal of supporting every runner in the world. In 2026, we will be coming to the roads of Europe and Australia for the first time. And then they've just said, where in the world do you think we should go to next? So that's very, very, for me anyway, because I am partial to a run-through race when they're not 50 quid. But I am very much hoping that they take to the roads of Germany and Spain, because I've got an event coming up next week, which I'll talk about just after this. But I would very much like to focus on getting some runs abroad in sort of over the next few years. So that's brilliant news for me. But you won't be tempted by a run-through race in Europe somewhere, Ben?
Well, I've got to actually eat my words, really, because I've already agreed to do one this year. Not abroad, but a run-through event. So me and Ben Stevens are going to do Sea to Sky, which is Snowdonia. So I suppose it's, well, would you call Wales abroad?
Well, yeah.
Can we
don't forget as well, the 29th of March is Run Through.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I can't really say anything, can I? Really? But I'm only doing that because you two are doing it. Sometimes you have to, you got to play the field, and you got to keep your friends close, your enemies closer.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing. It's all part of the plan.
I'll be keeping an eye on those volunteers at the finish line to see what medals are handing out this year.
You might get last year's medal.
Do you know what? If that happened, I'd be happy, because last year's proper medal was a banger. So I'll be happy with that. I'll take that. But yeah, I'm big into that. Would you ever see yourself doing an event abroad, Jake? Or is that not your bag?
Yeah, I would. I'm gagging for that one in Disney, but the price is just a joke.
Yeah,
it would be class, and I reckon at some point I would do it, even if I've done the. I swear they do it at all of them. I know they do it at LA's one, and they do it at Orlando. I don't know if they do it at Paris. It'd be good if they did, but I don't know when they'd do it in Paris. But that one's closer, so that one's probably more feasible in a sense.
You could swim over. I think it's 22 miles from Dover to Calais. Well, this is what I said to you in the week. There's a podcast. Shout out another podcast there, a Stride Sisters podcast that we follow on Instagram. And I think it was when we first started the Instagram page, I sort of followed fellow running podcasts, and I come across that one. I don't know how. And they only do events at the Disney parks. And I know you've talked about them before, Jake, but I did not realise how many different ones there are. Like recently, I think one of their recent posts, there was a medal with the, I'm going to get the film wrong here. What's the film where it's their emotions and they're controlling them?
Inside Out.
Inside Out, that's it. So it's the main girl in Inside Out. She's on the medal. Then someone else had a Lilo and Stitch medal, and it's like I did not realise. And I don't know how they do it, because do they go to the park every weekend? Do they have a pass, or there are so many events. So I'm partial to, obviously you boys are big Disney fans, especially yourself, Jake. But I'd be partial to doing a Disney event. I'd quite like a medal with maybe Star Wars on. They're now owned by Disney.
I follow the page on Instagram that run Disney, and they've just brought out a load of books like ex-Disney, and some of them look sick to yeah.
Okay.
You can do them. What's it ones though?
Virtual ones.
Yeah, you could do one of
Yeah.
them and get a Star Wars one. Do that.
I tell you, the first one of them I saw crop up on my Facebook as an advert was a Scooby-Doo one. And I know you're a big fan of Scooby-Doo, Jake, and it looked really, really good. And there was one, what was the one? I even screenshotted it because I thought this is right up my street. Can't think for the life of me now. I mean, the dream, if anyone knows of anything like this, the dream for me would obviously be doing, whether it be a virtual run, a Simpsons medal. That would, I think I'd retire. There's got to be, isn't there? There's got to be. Jake's on it already for me. I'm sure he'll find something. But yeah, no, that's very interesting. So yeah, one to keep an eye out on in terms of run through events for abroad, because I don't know why I'm so fascinated with Germany. I've only ever been once. My sister's moving out there maybe next year, and you know I'll be sort of taking advantage of that. So she's got that to look forward to. But I don't know what it is. I'd love to do a run out there. I just think Germany have got their ducks in line, and I think it's a very sort of efficient country, and I like the way they run things. So it's quite picturesque as well, some of Germany. So I'd love to do a run out there. I filled out one of them QR codes at the running show to win an entry for the Berlin Marathon. Obviously, I won't get in, which is fine by me. But yeah, if Run Through are going to start doing events in Germany and Spain, happy days, sign me right up. Because talking of Spain, next Sunday, I've got my first race abroad. I got emailed my bib today, which was weird. So they sent me the bib, but I think they sent it me because I need to know what my number is. Like, they're not expecting me to print my bib out because I need to go and collect the bib. But they sent me the bib and all the race info today, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Spain at this time of year doesn't tend to be too hot, although we've looked, and it's probably going to be around 18, 20 degrees. So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be hotter than it is here, obviously. And when I went in September, I did 2 runs out there, and it was hell. I thought I struggled over here. Well, let me tell you, it's like the opposite of going to the moon. They say when you go to the moon, you weigh less, don't you? Well, bloody hell. Stick me in Spain and run. I feel like I was going to say 20 odd stone. I'm probably not far off that now. I feel like I'm 40 odd stone. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough task, and this is one of them runs where I need to sort of take a step back and look at the bigger picture and sort of think, right, you are in Spain. It's a lot hotter. The climate's different. I have no idea what the course is like. Could be all hills for all I know. I've got no clue whatsoever. But we're going on Saturday. We land on Saturday evening, so I bloody missed the football, which is annoying. The run is on Sunday morning, and then we come back on the Tuesday, so it really is a flying visit. And just whilst I was saying that, it's reminded me, actually, I need to give a big shout out to the company that arranged it all for me. So in terms of my travel, like my flights and my accommodation, I imagine a lot of people that listen to this, if they've ever run abroad, they'll probably do it through a company. If you don't know, and if you just book races abroad and then sort the travel and accommodation yourself, and you're getting a bit sick and tired of it, I must recommend a company called H Escapes. So it's a lady called Hayley who has got her own business. She's a travel agent, and she's one of the wife's closest friends. So she sorted it out for us, and she sorted a hotel literally a stone's throw from the event. I think there's going to be a transfer possibly from the airport to the hotel. So she sorted all of that. So I'll drop a link to the Facebook page for her in the description of this video. If you're ever doing a race abroad, I mean, she does normal holidays as well, by the way, but if you're ever doing a race abroad and you just can't be bothered sorting out everything, she'll do it for you and get the best price possible. So, yeah, I've been meaning to shout her out for a few weeks, actually. So just while I was talking about it, and then I remembered. as you rightly pointed out, Ben, I have got a camera now, so I am going to, hopefully, I'm going to vlog this weekend, and I plan to vlog my trip as a whole, including parts of the race over in Alicante, and then we can put it all together. Well, you can put it all together for me and work your magic, and hopefully we'll have a vlog for the Alicante run. So that'll be very, very good. But yeah, looking forward to it. First of many. I entered another competition at the running show for the Benidorm half in November, which I was very close to booking anyway. And I got an email the other day, and it was like, "Congratulations, the winner is." I opened it, and it was like some other bloke from the West Midlands. And I was like, "Oh man!" But they've given me a 10% off discount code, which is very, very dangerous. So,
well, what's the price of that then looking like now?
I don't know how much it was originally, to be honest. No, but it's in November, so I've only been to. The closest to November I've been in Spain is September. The weather won't be amazing, but it won't be like it is over here now. And also, as well, you've got to take into consideration if it's out of season, which I didn't know was a thing. So when we booked this and we booked the hotels, Beck says, "Well, we need to check if they're out of season." I was like, surely if they're out of season, it just means they're not as busy. But apparently in Spain, they shut everything, like bars and restaurants. But thankfully, it's not out of season just yet. So we're going to take a trip to Benidorm on the Monday, because we watched the TV series from start to finish, and Beck had never seen it from start to finish. And it had the adverse effect on her. She actually wanted to go after seeing it. So, yeah, we're going to take a trip out there.
I've just found 2 runs. Sorry, Duff. 2.
No, please.
I've been digging, and I found one where it's all virtual. And it's not like you have to do it in one stint, which is decent. I've sent the photos into our WhatsApp chat, and there's 100k for Bart Simpson, 50k for Lisa, 50k for Marge, and 100k for Homer. But they look pretty sick.
I have just seen the medal. I'd open WhatsApp on my laptop and get it on the screen, but I'm going to have to be lazy and show the camera and hope it doesn't glare too much. But that is a Homer medal. That is a thing of beauty. So what did you say you have to do to get this, Jake?
So the top one, the Homer one, that one, you just have to, so you ask, obviously it's on Running Mad, it is. So you obviously pick your selection. It's got Bart, Devil, Flanders, Homer, Lard, Lad, Lisa, Maggie, Marge, and Santa King. You pick your activity, and then you pick your distance you want to do. So obviously it's got 10k, and that's 22 quid. So
well, I'm just looking at what you've sent me. It says Bart is 100k.
That's a different one. I found like a few, 2 anyway.
Well, you can absolutely send me the link to that later, because if it's only 22 quid and you can pick, I am absolutely doing that. By the way, as well, if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, there's so many companies out there that do these mini running challenges, and it can really help you sort of kickstart or like get a bit of a rhythm going. I've done 2 of the ones organised by the Great Run Company, and 1 year, well, you get a medal. I think you can run 30, 60 or 90 miles a month, and all you do your run, and you upload your runs every time you do one to a portal online, and once you've hit your total, you hit complete, then they send you a medal. So I've got 2 of them, but they're really good. You know, if you're stuck in a rut or you're sort of coming back from injury, you want to up your miles, it's a really good way of having a bit of accountability and getting something at the end of it. So yeah, if anyone didn't know about that, then absolutely check those out. But I am 100% going to check that Simpsons one out.
So thank you for it's Stranger Things 5k. It looks class, to be fair to me.
Oh, I had someone on my social media did one of them. Is it the upside down 5k or something?
Yeah, them on the bikes, and underneath is Vecna and the Demogorgon. That's class, that is. And they're not even badly priced, are they, really, for what you get? Jurassic Park. There's loads on here. You can go down a rabbit hole with them.
Well, you'll have to send the link, and we'll pop it in the description for anyone that wants to have a look. Talking of running, this whole show is about running. This weekend, I am local. I'm doing Yarborough Leisure Centre just because it's Valentine's. The wife is extremely understanding for me, sodding off to Birmingham most weekends at the crack of dawn and not getting back till the afternoon most weekends for parkrun. But I thought, you know what, with it being Valentine's Day, I don't want to be sort of gone half the day and then come back. We are going for dinner in the evening, which will be nice, but I'm going to stick local. I say I'm toying with the idea. I think I will do. Take the camera. I can't quite master running and filming at the same time, but I've got a little bit of a plan in my head of what I'm going to do. So it's going to be a little bit different to what the other vlogs have been, and maybe a bit of an insight into life at the back of the pack and what can go through people's heads and all sorts. So yeah, hopefully we'll put something out for you on Saturday evening or Sunday morning, which will document that. Ben, are you toying with the idea of parkrun, or are you busy? What's the crack?
I'm 50-50 at the minute. If I was, I don't know where I'd go. That's the only thing. I'm kind of like, don't fancy going back. No, I don't fancy going back there again. So I don't know. That's what's kind of put me off a bit. I'm kind of like, do I? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to take. Yeah, I'll probably have a good think about it tomorrow and come up with a plan probably. But yeah, because if you can record something, and then potentially I might just take the head one and just run. One. Yeah, maybe put something together. But yeah, I'm 50-50 at the minute, mate. To be honest.
Okay. And Jake, are you too busy with the house stuff, or are you planning on getting out this weekend at all?
I think I'll get out, but I don't think I'll do parkrun. I don't think it's fair on the other half for me to go out do a parkrun on Saturday while she's mucking in doing work, and then I'm pissing off to watch the Villa at 5:30. So yeah, I will get out. I think I'll probably try and get one in Sunday evening, or maybe tomorrow. Just depends. I might run home from the house, which is about 5k. Try and get that in. So and tick off some tasks.
Happy days. Well, talking of ticking off, and I got a massive thanks to Jake for this, by the way. Just the last thing we'll talk about before wrapping up. You have brilliantly come up with, and hopefully this is something that you guys at home can get involved in as well, but a brilliant way. We've talked about, trying to stay consistent and everything, and we've talked at length on this podcast before about sort of struggling to go out in the week and everything else. Well, hopefully this can change things. So you've come up with a bit of an idea of, we're calling it CTF bingo, and it's basically ticking off. We're not, inventing something for the first time here, but it's just stuff that you can tick off during a run. So like I say, we'd love for you guys at home to get involved with this as well. So put it in the title or the description of your run on Strava, CTF bingo. Tell us what one you've done and even get a picture. I've got the picture here of some of the things that are involved in it. So we've got run over a bridge, run past the church, mosque or cathedral, run with a partner or friend, a route you've never done, photo of a post box, run after 7 p.m. That'll be all right for Ben Stevens because he usually goes out about 11:30 at night. Run exactly 10k through a parkrun location, 5.55, before and after sweat selfie side by side, 7.77 before 7 a.m. There's one here. I was just going to go through them all then, but I'll be here forever. Photo with a statue, really good one. In a football top that isn't your team. I like the one where it's running the distance matching the date. So, for example, on the 8th of February, it would have been 8.02. Today, it would have been 12.02 kilometres.
I was wondering if you're going to get them in.
No, I didn't know what day it was. So a date, rather. A photo at a train station, run alongside water, river, canal, sea, field with animals. Some really good ones there. I like what you've done there, Jake. And I think it will help us and hopefully other people in getting midweek runs and just keeping it fun.
Well, it's something different. Like, I even thought of an idea and I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Did it and then just didn't go out. So that was like, I bought like a virtual dice, 3 dices, rolling them. And then whatever it lands on, that's how many kilometers I do. And then I done it and it came with like 16. I was like, I don't think I could bang out 16. He's like, 6:30. I was like, so I'll leave that till next month. But I was like, but yeah, I'm definitely want to go out. It just gives me more of a reason to go out. Like doing like the 7.7, and if I'm due to work at home, I'll just get up at like 5:30 and just go out and do a run. So get that ticked off. So, and what I'll do is I'll probably post this picture, like post the snippet, and then just put a line through it once I've done it. Just because it gives you much of something to go for when you're out. Because then you're like, oh, that's on there and whatnot. So,
I mean, we could do a challenge between the 3 of us. Who gets it done first?
I think we need to
pick them all off.
Yeah, and it has to be.
You need proof with the pictures.
A run at a time, because or are we being that strict that because let's say you could tick multiple off there. You could get up before 7 a.m. and run down the canal, past 3 pubs, and out and back through a park, and there's some field with animals in, like, you know what I mean. So I think we need to lay some boundaries down.
I think just to make us go out and do more runs, because obviously we're going to need the training anyway for the 24-hour. The max we can do in a run is 2.
Yeah, I like that idea, Jake. So, well, you love a spreadsheet and putting stuff together, so we'll devise a bit of a league table situation with that, and we'll update you on each podcast. But there's some really good ones on there. What one you eyeing up, Jake? What's your favourite on that?
I think I'm looking forward to doing the run. The number of kilometers with my name, because obviously it's 10k, so you can nail 2 in one go there, or I might be going just go my full name, so like Jake Ryan Ramsey, because it's more. So because I feel like it's a bit of a cop out if you got, if you got like mine's 10, isn't it? So, or the run of so it's 31 kilometers in a week, bang on. So I don't but so that'll be a good one to do. So it's working out. So if you hit the run 7.7 and then you hit the 5.5, and I've got to make sure I hit bang on for the week for 31. So it's getting there. You might need a calculator for that one. I am. Yeah, it's just something to keep people ticking. So
absolutely, I really like this initiative, and like I've said already, if anyone's watching along, get involved. Put it in the in your description on your Strava. Take a picture to prove. Let's say you've ran past 3 pubs. Take a picture of all 3 pubs, put it in, and just say CTF bingo run, and tick it off. And we'll share everyone's achievements week by week, and we'll obviously have a bit of competition between us. Ben, anything on there catching your eye in particular?
In the CTF group on Strava.
I've always wanted to take a picture with a post box, so that'd be a good one.
There's one at the end of your road, I think.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Sweet. I'll go and do that now.
Well, the post box one is of interest to me as well, because there's a post box outside the cathedral, so I could tick 2 off there, but it's a gold post box because someone from Lincoln won gold at the Olympics. So, and then if I'm ever in Watford, Anthony Joshua's got a gold post box in Watford High Street. So there's 2
on that one.
golden post boxes that I could. You look quite confused, Ben.
No, I'm just reading it through them. I thought the bottom one said run. I thought it said run across water. So run on water.
Jesus is disqualified from this one. You cannot run across water.
Just a couple queries in them, really. Like a field with animals. What have you got to get in the field, or
no? So like, if there's I know where there is one, because when I done my 15k, I went past and it had like donkeys. It's a cop out, but I know where it is. But like you just if I'm running along somewhere and there's a field with like cows in, just take a photo of a cow in the background.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting you to get in the field with them.
Before and after sweat selfie. What about that one?
Well,
Yeah, so
you'd have
that's
to do
just
like a 30K,
selfie.
man. You'd have to do
Yeah.
like a big run, wouldn't you? Because you're just such an athlete.
No, Ben, that's a simple one. You take a selfie before you start the run, and then when
Watch
you're finished and you're knackered and you take a selfie then.
I feel like you're making it hard work, Ben.
Yeah.
Well, the one that I thought you were going to pull up was the run your age times 1, because if you times any number by 1, it remains that number. So
the X is meant to be your age, Mike.
Sorry.
So say obviously Ben's just turned 31. He's got to run 31 kilometers in 1 week.
I thought
over,
you were
nothing
saying.
less. So that's why I was like, you got to try and work it out. If you run a
Yeah.
7.7,
I'm with you now. I thought it meant something else. But yeah, no, there's some good ones here. I really like that. And I think it'll help people. It'll certainly help me get out more in the week. Definitely.
You will have to borrow me a football top. That's not my team.
I've got
You've
one.
not got some random team. You strike me as someone that would have like an FC Bucharest one in the back of the wardrobe somewhere.
Actually, I might do.
I bet you got a Liverpool one, ain't you?
No, don't have a Liverpool one. I'm trying to think. I had a Real Madrid one, I think, maybe. Something like that.
I've got a Lanzarote club football one that I shall be running in and partaking. We've had a comment here. I apologise. I missed this from Gav. Gavin Hughes. Hope you're well, mate. Evening, lads. Done the upside down 5K a few weeks ago. That's where I saw it. It was Gav that had done it. My new favourite medal. Good luck, Mike, for your Alicante run. And happy birthday for yesterday, Ben. So
cheers, Gav.
Go. Cheers, Gav. Yes, I thought I'd seen someone on Strava with that medal. So it does look a good. And I'm 100% looking into that Homer Simpson one as well. But I think we'll call the end to episode 31 there. But obviously, before we do so, we will put some songs in the vault. Let's come to you first, Jake. What song is going in the playlist this week?
I'm going to go with Move On Up by The Jam.
Move On Up by The Jam.
It's been covered by a few bands, but I just think that The Jam one's more upbeat.
Okie doke. That is going to go almost wrong playlist. Song 67 of the playlist. Song 68, Ben?
I was going to go on theme and pick something by the Cardigans, but I won't.
Is everyone Kenobi Cardigan? That's good, that is, man.
No, I'm going to go In the Morning by the Coral.
Oh, what a tune.
In the morning. In the morning. Didn't Razorlight sing that?
It goes dun, dun, dun.
That's a different
In
one.
the morning. So
I'm thinking of the Razorlight one. I am going to go Think About Us by Sonny Fodera and D.O.D. It's a remix of the song, popular song. You'll know it when you listen to it. So, yeah, song 69 of the podcast locked in the vault. But, yeah, I hope you've really enjoyed this episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit the like button down below. And if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing. As I said earlier in the video, we have hit 100 subscribers now. So it's the roads to the next 100 and to get to 200. So please do join us on that journey. As I say, hopefully there'll be some form of a vlog out this weekend. What it will be consisting of, I do not know. We will see. And yeah, we will be back next week sometime. I'm not sure when yet, but you'll be notified as to when. But yeah, until then, keep on trucking and keep on chasing that finish. See you later.